I destroyed my marriage over what I genuinely believed was a harmless 10 seconds, and the worst part is that everyone thinks they know exactly what happened when they weren't even there. They see a cheater, a woman who disrespected her husband at a company party, someone who got what she deserved. But what they don't know is why I let it happen, what I was actually thinking in that moment, or what came after when my husband walked out of our apartment with a single suitcase and hasn't spoken to me in 3 weeks. My marriage is over. My coworkers whisper when I enter the break room. My mother-in-law blocked me on every platform. I wake up alone in a bed that still smells like him and wonder how something I barely even registered as significant could detonate my entire existence. The real terror isn't that everyone's angry. It's that I'm starting to see their point, and that realization is eating me alive from the inside out. I'm going to tell you everything that happened, including the part I left out when I tried explaining to Marcus why he shouldn't have reacted so dramatically. There's a detail I haven't admitted to anyone, something I did right before the kiss that makes everything so much worse. By the time you finish reading this, you'll understand why my husband might never forgive me, and why I'm not sure I deserve forgiveness. The truth is, I never felt particularly special at Integrated Media Solutions. I'd been there 14 months, still the newest person on the creative team, still eating lunch at my desk while everyone else had their established groups. I was competent, invisible, the kind of employee who gets positive performance reviews and zero personal conversations. Marcus noticed this before I did. They don't include you, he said one evening after I'd mentioned casually that the team had gone for drinks without inviting me. Again, that's toxic workplace behavior, Vanessa. You should talk to HR. But I didn't want to be that person. The complainer, the one who couldn't take a hint that maybe I just didn't fit with their dynamic. So I smiled harder at work, contributed more in meetings, brought in bagels on Fridays. Small gestures that felt pathetic even as I executed them. Then Damien transferred from the Chicago office. He was everything I wasn't, effortlessly charismatic, immediately accepted, the kind of person who could crack a joke in a budget meeting and have the VP laughing. Within 2 weeks he'd been added to the group chat I'd never been invited to. Within 3 he was organizing happy hours. You should come tonight, he said one Thursday, appearing at my cubicle. The team's going to Maginty's at 6. My heart actually jumped. Oh really, that would be great. Cool, you seem like you'd be fun outside the office. He said it so simply, like it wasn't the validation I'd been starving for since I started. I went. I laughed at everyone's stories, bought a round even though I couldn't really afford it, stayed until almost midnight. Damien walked me to my car. See, he said, you're way cooler than you let on here. You should let people see this version more. I drove home buzzing with something that felt like hope. Marcus was already asleep. I didn't wake him to share my small victory, it would have sounded desperate. After that, things shifted, not dramatically but enough. I got added to the group chat. People stopped by my desk to chat, and Damien became something like a work friend, the person who'd send me memes during boring presentations, who'd grab coffee with me when we both needed a break. Your husband's cool with you having a guy friend at work? He asked once. Marcus isn't like that, I said, which was true. Marcus trusted me completely. We'd been together 6 years, married for 3. He was steady, reliable, sometimes boring in that comfortable way long-term relationships get. He worked in logistics. He meal prepped on Sunday. He was in bed by 10:30 most nights. There was nothing wrong with our marriage, nothing exciting either, but nothing wrong. That's healthy, Damien said. My ex was insanely jealous, ruined everything. I felt sophisticated being the kind of woman whose husband didn't get jealous, who had male friends, who was mature enough to handle workplace friendships without drama. The spring gala was announced in March, our company's annual event, supposedly a huge deal. Black tie, open bar, awards ceremony. I'd skipped it the previous year, had some excuse I can't even remember now. But this year people actually asked if I was coming. You have to, Damien said. It's actually fun. Everyone gets wasted and the CEO does karaoke. It's legendary. Marcus agreed to come as my +1, though he hated these things. I'll go, he said, but I'm leaving by 10. You know I don't do small talk with strangers. That's fine, I appreciate you coming at all. Looking back, I should have noticed my own relief that he planned to leave early. That small, guilty flutter of freedom at the idea of having the night mostly to myself. The gala was on a Saturday in April. I bought a new dress, emerald green, more form-fitting than I usually wore, Marcus noticed. That's different, he said as I was getting ready, not critical, just observing. Is it too much? No, you look beautiful, just more, I don't know, sophisticated than your usual style. Spent $300 I'd skimmed from our grocery budget over several weeks. I didn't tell him that part. The venue was a downtown hotel ballroom, already packed when we arrived. Marcus immediately looked uncomfortable in his suit. He gained weight since he'd last worn it and he kept tugging at the collar. You okay? I asked. Fine, just want to find the bar. We found my team's table. I introduced Marcus to everyone. He shook hands, made polite conversation, then went quiet. I could feel him withdrawing into himself the way he always did in large social situations. It used to seem endearing. That night it felt limiting. Damien arrived late, alone, drawing attention as he worked the room. When he got to our table, he clapped Marcus on the shoulder. "You must be the husband. Vanessa talks about you all the time." "I really don't," I said, laughing, but it came out wrong, like I was denying Marcus rather than correcting an exaggeration. Marcus smiled tightly. "Nice to meet you. Damien's the one who finally got me included in team stuff," I explained, immediately regretting how that sounded. Like Marcus needed to be grateful to this man for giving his wife basic workplace courtesy. Dinner was fine. Marcus ate in silence while I chatted with my coworkers, finally feeling like I belonged. I was on my third glass of wine when the awards portion started. Our team won something, I can't even remember what. We all went up on stage and Damien put his arm around my shoulders for the group photo. It felt normal, celebratory. When we sat back down, Marcus leaned over. "I'm going to head out," he whispered. "Already it's only 9. I'm tired, you stay, have fun, I'll grab an Uber." I should have insisted on leaving with him or at least walked him out. Instead I said, "Okay, text me when you get home safe," and turned back to my coworkers as my husband left. Within minutes I'd forgotten he'd gone. The night got blurrier, more drinks, dancing, the CEO actually did karaoke. Damien was right, it was hilarious. Our team crammed into a booth in the hotel bar afterward, and I was at the center of it, laughing so hard my face hurt, feeling seen and valued and fun. "I'm so glad you came this year," someone said, maybe Claire from accounting. "You're actually really cool." "She hides it well," Damien added, grinning at me. Around midnight someone suggested we play truth or dare. Stupid, juvenile, but we were drunk enough not to care. The dares were mostly harmless: sing a song, do a shot, text your ex. Then it was Damien's turn. "I dare you to kiss the prettiest girl at this table," someone said. "Jake from design, I think." Damien didn't hesitate, he looked right at me. "That's easy." The table erupted, cheering, laughing, goading. I felt my face flush hot. "It's just a joke," someone said. "Come on, Vanessa, be a sport." That phrase, be a sport. Like refusing would make me the uptight wife, the one who couldn't handle workplace fun, who'd get excluded again. I'd drunk enough that the logic made sense. "It's just a peck," Damien said, standing up. "Completely platonic, your husband wouldn't even care, right? You said he's not the jealous type." Everyone was watching, waiting. I thought about Marcus at home in his sweatpants, probably already asleep. I thought about how good it felt to finally be included. I thought about how it was just a stupid game, meaningless, the kind of thing people would forget by Monday. "Fine," I said, standing. "But literally just a peck, like kissing your grandma." More cheering. Damien stepped closer, and here's what I haven't told anyone, what I did right before it happened. I checked my phone, deliberately. Marcus had texted 20 minutes earlier, "Home safe. Love you." I saw that message, registered that he was safely unaware, and put my phone face down on the table. I made the choice to let it happen, knowing he'd never find out. Damien's hands went to my waist. The kiss lasted maybe 10 seconds. His lips were soft, tasted like whiskey. It wasn't passionate, but it wasn't grandmotherly either. When we broke apart, everyone applauded like we'd performed a scene. "See," Damien said, "harmless." I sat down, my heart racing with adrenaline and wine and something I didn't want to name. "Totally harmless," I agreed. We played a few more rounds. I did another dare. I think I had to dance on the table. The kiss became just another moment in the night's chaos. I'd successfully proven I was fun, that I could hang, that I belonged. At 2 a.m. I got in an Uber alone, my ears ringing, my feet aching. Marcus was asleep when I stumbled in. I took off my makeup, brushed my teeth, crawled into bed beside him, feeling accomplished. Like I'd finally broken through some social barrier at work. I fell asleep within minutes, completely unaware that my entire life had already ended. Sunday morning I woke up to an empty bed and a headache that felt like divine punishment. Marcus was in the kitchen making coffee. "Morning," I croaked, shuffling in. "God, I'm never drinking again." He poured himself a cup without offering me one. "How was the rest of the night?" "Fun. We went to the hotel bar after. I think I got home around 2. "I know, I heard you." Something in his tone made me look up. His face was perfectly calm, but his knuckles were white around his coffee mug. "Are you mad I stayed out late?" I asked. "Because you said I should have fun. Did anything happen that I should know about?" My stomach dropped, but there was no way he could know. No one from my company knew Marcus beyond meeting him briefly at the gala. No one would have texted him. I was safe. "Like what?" I asked, going for confused instead of defensive. "I don't know, Vanessa, you tell me." This was a trap, some kind of test. I'd been with Marcus long enough to know his patterns. He suspected something but didn't have proof, so he was fishing. "We played some dumb drinking games," I said carefully. "Pretty standard office party stuff, nothing crazy." He nodded slowly, set down his mug. "Okay. Why are you being weird?" "I'm not. I'm going to the gym." He left without kissing me goodbye, which was unusual but not unprecedented. I told myself he was just in a mood, that it would blow over. I spent the day on the couch, rehydrating, scrolling through photos from the night that people were posting in the group chat. There were so many pictures. Our team on stage, dancing, the booth at the bar. And then one that made my blood turn to ice. Damien and me kissing. Jake must have taken it. The angle made it look more intimate than it was. You couldn't see that it was just a peck, couldn't see the context of the game. It just looked like a married woman kissing her male coworker at a company event. Someone had commented, wasn't Vanessa's husband there earlier? Claire had replied, he left before the bar. What happens at the gala stays at the gala. Lol. My hands were shaking as I typed in the group chat, can someone delete that photo please? It was just a dare and looks way worse than it was. Damien responded immediately on it. Sorry V, didn't realize anyone was taking pics. The photo disappeared from the chat within minutes. Crisis averted. Except when I checked Instagram, someone had already posted it there too, and Facebook, and tagged me. I spent the next hour frantically messaging people asking them to take down the photos, explaining it was a game, completely innocent. Most people complied, but the internet is forever. I knew that even as I worked damage control. Marcus came home from the gym while I was in the middle of this panic. I quickly locked my phone. Hey, I said too brightly. Feel better? Not really. He sat down across from me. I need to ask you something and I need you to be completely honest. Okay, did you kiss someone last night? The question hung in the air like a grenade. I had maybe 3 seconds to decide how to handle this. The truth would sound bad without context, but lying would be worse if he already knew. It was a stupid dare, I said quickly. Truth or dare, like kids play. Someone dared Damien to kiss the prettiest girl at the table and everyone was watching, and it was literally just a peck, completely meaningless, over in 2 seconds. How do you know I know about this? I froze. What? I asked if you kissed someone. I didn't say I knew about anything, but you just confirmed it. My mind raced. I don't understand. Why would you ask if you didn't? Jake from your company is friends with my brother on Facebook. Tyler sent me the photo this morning. The room tilted. Tyler, Marcus's brother who'd met some of my coworkers at our wedding, who must have been tagged or found the photo somehow before I could get them all deleted. It wasn't what it looked like, I said, hearing the desperate edge in my voice. The photo makes it seem you let another man kiss you at a work event hours after I left. It was a game everyone was playing. It was completely platonic, I swear. Did it occur to you that maybe you should have said no? I did think about it, but everyone was watching and I didn't want to seem uptight. So what other people thought mattered more than what I would think. That's not fair. You weren't there. You don't understand the dynamics. You're right. Marcus stood up. I wasn't there because I left my wife at a party trusting that she'd respect our marriage. Apparently that was stupid of me. Marcus, please. You're blowing this completely out of proportion. And when I asked you this morning if anything happened, you lied to me. I didn't lie. I just didn't mention something I didn't think was important. Vanessa, another man's mouth was on yours. You didn't think that was important enough to mention. When he put it that way, stripped of all context, it sounded indefensible. I knew you'd react like this, I said, my own anger rising now. This is exactly why I didn't say anything. You're acting like I had an affair when it was literally a 5-second kiss as part of a drinking game. 10 seconds. What? In the video it's 10 seconds. Tyler sent me that too. There was a video. Of course there was a video. My mouth went dry. Can I see it? I asked. He pulled out his phone, pressed play, handed it to me. I watched myself, drunk, laughing, looking up at Damien like he was the most interesting person in the world. Watched him put his hands on my waist. Watched us kiss, his thumb stroking my hip, my hand briefly touching his chest. 10 endless seconds that looked nothing like kissing your grandma. I was drunk, I whispered. So that makes it okay? No, I'm just saying I wasn't thinking clearly enough to check your phone right before it happened. That's in the video too. I looked again. He was right. You could see me glance at my phone, see the small smile when I put it down, like I was making sure the coast was clear. I don't remember doing that, I said, which was technically true. The specific motion was lost in the blur of the evening. But you're not denying it happened. Marcus, I love you. I would never actually cheat on you. This was just what, a joke, because I'm not laughing, Vanessa. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm sorry. It was stupid and I shouldn't have done it, but it didn't mean anything. It meant something to me. He walked past me toward our bedroom. I followed, still pleading my case, explaining the context, the workplace dynamics, how left out I'd felt, how it was about belonging, not about Damien. When I finally stopped talking, Marcus was pulling a suitcase from the closet. What are you doing? My voice went shrill. I'm going to stay at Tyler's for a while. You're leaving over a drunken kiss. I'm leaving because my wife let another man kiss her, lied about it, and is now acting like I'm crazy for being upset. I didn't lie. I just didn't volunteer information about something that didn't matter. It mattered enough that you checked your phone to make sure I wouldn't find out. I had no response to that. I watched him pack in silence, underwear, socks, toiletries. He moved with calm efficiency, which somehow made it worse than if he'd been angry. How long are you going to stay at Tyler's? I finally asked. I don't know. So you're just leaving without even trying to work through this? I need space to think, Vanessa. Every time I close my eyes, I see you kissing him. I can't be around you right now. He doesn't mean anything to me. I barely even know him. Then why did you do it? Because I wanted people at work to like me. Because I felt like an outsider for over a year and I finally had a chance to be part of the group and I made a stupid choice in a moment of weakness. Is that really worth ending our marriage over? Marcus stopped packing and looked at me directly for the first time. I'm not ending our marriage, I'm taking space, there's a difference. It doesn't feel different. Yeah, well, a lot of things don't feel the way I thought they did. He zipped the suitcase, grabbed his phone charger, walked to the door. I followed him like a pathetic puppy, still explaining, still justifying, still trying to make him see reason. At the door he finally turned. I need you to understand something. It's not just that you kissed him, it's that you chose to do it, knowing I'd be hurt. Knowing it was wrong, you made a calculation and decided it was worth it. That's what I can't get past. I didn't calculate anything. You checked your phone, Vanessa. You made sure I was safely at home unaware. That's calculation. The door closed behind him with a soft click that felt louder than slamming would have. I stood in our empty apartment, still in my pajamas at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, and realized I had absolutely no idea how to fix what I'd broken. The first few days were awful but manageable. Marcus responded to my texts with brief, polite answers. Yes, he was fine. No, he didn't want to talk yet. He needed more time. I threw myself into work, grateful for the distraction. Except work was where everything got infinitely worse. Monday morning, Damien appeared at my desk with coffee. Hey, I heard about the photo thing. I'm really sorry. I didn't think anyone would make a big deal out of it. My husband saw it, I said quietly. Oh shit, is he pissed? He moved out yesterday. Damien's eyes widened. Seriously, over that, man? I'm really sorry. That's way more intense than I expected. It's fine, we'll work through it. I didn't believe this, but I needed to say it out loud. If you need to talk or anything. He left the offer hanging. Thanks, but I should probably keep some distance, for optics. He nodded, understanding, but the damage was done. By Tuesday I could feel the shift in the office. People were treating me differently, some with pity, some with judgment, some with that eager curiosity people have for other people's drama. Claire from accounting cornered me in the bathroom. Someone told me your husband left you, over the kiss. We're just taking some space, I said tightly. God, that's so extreme. It was clearly just a game, men are so dramatic. I wanted to defend Marcus, but that would mean admitting I was in the wrong, which I wasn't ready to do. So I just nodded and left. By Wednesday, HR called me in. We've received a complaint about inappropriate behavior at the gala, the HR director said. She was maybe 40 with kind eyes that somehow made this worse. Who complained? I asked, though I already knew. Someone's spouse had seen the photos. Maybe Tyler had made noise. Maybe someone just wanted to cause trouble. I can't disclose that. But I need to ask, did you engage in romantic contact with another employee at a company event? It was a dare, part of a drinking game. It wasn't romantic. Physical contact of a romantic or sexual nature between employees at company events can create a hostile work environment for others, regardless of intent. So I'm being punished for playing truth or dare? You're not being punished. We're documenting the incident. And I'm advising you that any future behavior of this nature could result in disciplinary action. We're also going to be having this same conversation with Damien. I left HR feeling sick. This was supposed to have been a harmless moment of fun. Instead, it was now on my permanent employment file, had destroyed my marriage, and had turned me into office gossip. Thursday, Marcus finally agreed to meet me for coffee. I spent an hour getting ready, choosing an outfit he liked, doing my makeup carefully. I needed him to see the woman he married, not the one who'd betrayed him. He looked tired when he arrived, like he hadn't been sleeping well. Thank you for meeting me, I said. You said it was important. It is. I wanted to say in person how sorry I am. I've been thinking about nothing else and you were right. I made a choice, a selfish, stupid choice, and I can't take it back, but I can promise it'll never happen again. Marcus stirred his coffee without drinking it. I've been thinking too. About our marriage, about how we got here. We got here because I made one mistake. Do you think I'm boring? The question caught me off guard. What? No, why would you? The night of the gala you looked relieved when I said I was leaving early. And in the video you look happier than I've seen you in months, so I'm wondering if maybe I'm just not enough for you anymore. Marcus, that's not true. I love you. I married you. That stupid kiss had nothing to do with you being boring, but I am boring. Compared to Damien, compared to your work friends who stay out until 2 a.m. drinking and playing games, I'm the guy who's in bed by 10:30. I don't want someone who stays out until 2 a.m. I want my husband. Do you though? Because from where I'm sitting it seems like you want the stability of a marriage and the excitement of being single. That's not fair. I made one mistake. You keep saying that, one mistake, but I keep thinking about what else I don't know. You hid this. What else are you hiding? Nothing, I swear nothing. That's the only thing that's ever happened. How do I know that? You lied to my face Sunday morning. You checked to make sure I wouldn't find out before you did it. Why should I believe anything you say now? Because I'm being honest now, because I'm here fighting for us, trying to fix this. I don't know if it can be fixed, Vanessa. Every time I think about us being intimate, I picture him kissing you. It's contaminated everything. So what are you saying? You want a divorce? My voice cracked on the last word. I don't know what I want, that's why I needed space. We sat in horrible silence. Other people's conversations buzzed around us, normal people having normal coffee dates, unburdened by the wreckage of their own stupid choices. Can I ask you something? Marcus finally said. Anything. Did you want him to kiss you? This was the real question, the one I'd been avoiding even in my own head. I didn't plan it, I said carefully. That's not what I asked. I was drunk, everyone was pressuring me, it felt like refusing would make me the outsider again. Vanessa, did you want him to kiss you? I opened my mouth to say no, to insist it was purely social pressure, pure circumstance, nothing to do with want. But Marcus's eyes were locked on mine and he would know if I lied. There was a part of me, I said slowly, that was flattered, that he picked me. That someone found me attractive and fun and worth attention. But that doesn't mean I wanted to betray you, Marcus stood up. I can't do this right now. Wait please, you wanted it, that's what I needed to know, everything else is just rationalization. That's not what I said, you're twisting my words, but he was already walking away, leaving his untouched coffee and his wedding ring on the table between us. I stared at the ring for a full minute before I picked it up, my hands shaking so badly I could barely close my fingers around it. This couldn't be happening. 6 years together couldn't end over 10 seconds of stupidity. Except it wasn't just 10 seconds. I was starting to see that. It was every choice that led to those 10 seconds. Every time I prioritized what my coworkers thought over what my husband deserved. Every rationalization I'd made to myself about why it was okay. I checked my phone to make sure Marcus was safely unaware. That action, captured on video, was more damning than the kiss itself. It proved premeditation. It proved I'd known exactly what I was doing and had done it anyway. Friday at work, Damien was cold to me. I later found out HR had given him a formal warning, and he blamed me for making a big deal out of nothing. The rest of the team was divided. Some people thought Marcus was overreacting. Some thought I'd crossed a line. All of them had opinions they shared freely in the group chat I was no longer part of. By the following Monday, I'd been effectively frozen out again. Back to eating lunch alone, back to being excluded. Except now it was worse because I knew what I'd lost. I'd had their acceptance for approximately 3 weeks. I destroyed my marriage for 3 weeks of belonging. My mom called that Tuesday. Tyler had told his parents, who told my parents, and now everyone knew. Why would you do something like that? She kept asking like I had a good answer. It was a mistake, I said, the phrase so worn out it had lost all meaning. Marcus is a good man, you're not going to find better than him. I know, Mom. Then why? I couldn't explain it in a way she'd understand. How invisible I'd felt, how intoxicating it was to finally be seen. How I'd confused social acceptance with happiness and made catastrophically bad choices in pursuit of it. The second week Marcus was gone, I did something I'm not proud of. I drove past Tyler's apartment at midnight just to see if Marcus's car was there. It was. I sat in my car across the street for 20 minutes, staring at the lit window on the 3rd floor, wondering if he was awake, if he was thinking about me, if there was any path back from this. A text buzzed. From Marcus, I can see you down there, please go home. The humiliation was scorching. I drove away with tears streaming down my face, having now added stalking to my list of recent failures. Week 3, he finally agreed to another meeting. A real conversation, he said, to figure out next steps. I met him at a park this time, neutral territory. It was late May, unseasonably hot. Families were everywhere, kids on swings, couples on blankets. The life I thought we'd have someday, slipping further away with every passing minute. I've been seeing a therapist, Marcus said, trying to work through everything. That's good, I should probably do that too. She asked me what I wanted, if I could imagine forgiving you. And I honestly don't know, Vanessa. Some days I think maybe we can get past this. Other days I can't even look at pictures of you without feeling sick. What can I do? Tell me what to do and I'll do it. I don't think there's anything you can do. This isn't about you performing the right actions. It's about whether I can trust you again. Whether I can believe that you value our marriage more than you value being liked by people who don't actually matter. They don't matter, I see that now. Do you? Because 3 weeks ago they mattered more than I did. That's not true. You chose them, Vanessa. In that moment you chose their approval over my feelings. That's just a fact. I had no argument. He was right. So what are you saying? You want a divorce? I'm saying I don't know if I can get past this, and I think you need to prepare yourself for that possibility. I don't want to prepare for that, I want to fight for us. Sometimes fighting isn't enough. He stood up and I recognized the finality in the gesture. I'll be in touch about logistics, the apartment lease is up in August. We'll need to figure out what we're doing. Marcus, please. I'm sorry, Vanessa, I really am. But I can't be who you need right now. You're exactly who I need, you're my husband. Yeah, I was. He walked away, and this time I didn't follow. I sat on that park bench until the sun went down and the families cleared out and a police officer asked if I was okay. I'm fine, I lied, because what else was there to say? The worst truth, the thing I haven't told anyone, the detail that makes me irredeemable, is that after Damien and I kissed, after everyone applauded and moved on to the next round of dares, he leaned in close and whispered, "We should get a drink sometime, just us." And I didn't say no. I didn't say I was married, or that it was inappropriate, or that it could never happen. I just smiled and said, maybe, and let him think there was a possibility. When I got in my Uber at 2 a.m., I had 3 texts from him. Flirty texts. Texts that assumed the kiss had opened a door, and I didn't shut that door. I responded with vague, non-committal messages that kept the door ajar, just in case. I deleted those texts Sunday morning when I realized Marcus might ask to see my phone. Before he even asked about the kiss, I destroyed the evidence of what came after. The video shows the kiss. But there's no record of me texting another man while my husband slept 10 feet away, keeping my options open, enjoying the attention. That's the piece that makes everything worse. It wasn't just a drunken mistake. It was the beginning of something I was willing to explore, and I only stopped because I got caught. If that photo had never been taken, if Tyler had never sent it to Marcus, would I have met Damien for that drink? I want to say no. I want to believe I would have come to my senses, remembered my marriage, done the right thing, but I honestly don't know. When I finally confessed this to Marcus 3 weeks after he'd left in a desperate phone call where I thought complete honesty might save us, the silence that followed was devastating. So the kiss wasn't the end of it, he finally said. It was the beginning. Nothing happened after that. I swear I never met up with him. Only because you got caught. You don't know that? Yeah, Vanessa. I do, and so do you. He hung up. That was 4 days ago. He hasn't responded to any of my messages since. Work is unbearable. Damien transferred back to Chicago, whether by choice or company encouragement, I don't know. The team barely speaks to me. I've started looking for new jobs, but explaining why I'm leaving after only 18 months is complicated when the truth is, I destroyed my professional reputation kissing a coworker. My apartment feels cavernous. I sleep on the couch because the bed still smells like Marcus and it's too painful. I've lost 12 pounds because I forget to eat. My mom calls daily to check that I'm still alive and scold me for throwing away a good marriage. The lease is up in 6 weeks. Marcus hasn't told me his plans, but I'm assuming he won't be renewing with me. I've looked at studio apartments I can barely afford, imagining my new life as a divorced 31-year-old whose defining characteristic is catastrophic judgment. The worst part is the isolation. I can't talk to anyone without revealing what I did, and once I reveal it, they side with Marcus. Every single person. Even my best friend from college said, "I love you, but you really fucked up. I don't know if I'd forgive you either." Nobody sees the context. The loneliness at work, the pressure of the moment, the alcohol, the desire to finally fit in somewhere. Or maybe they see it and just don't think it's enough justification. Maybe they're right. Last week I saw Marcus's car outside our old favorite restaurant. He was inside with a woman I didn't recognize. Probably just a friend, or Tyler's girlfriend, or someone completely innocent. But I stood outside that restaurant for 15 minutes, watching through the window as my husband laughed with someone who wasn't me, and I realized this is my future. Watching his life continue without me in it. Seeing him be happy with someone who doesn't make catastrophically selfish choices. Yesterday, the divorce papers arrived. He'd had them drawn up without warning, without discussion. The message was clear: he was done trying, done hurting, done with me. I haven't signed them yet. Some pathetic part of me thinks if I just wait, he'll change his mind. That he'll remember 6 years of good times and decide 10 seconds of stupidity isn't worth throwing it all away. But I know better. Those 10 seconds revealed something about me that can't be unrevealed. I prioritized strangers over my spouse. I chose social acceptance over my marriage. I was willing to explore something with another man while wearing my wedding ring. That's not a mistake. That's a character flaw. I'm telling you this now because I need someone to understand the full picture. I need to stop lying to myself about what happened and why. Everyone sees me as either the villain who cheated on her husband or the victim whose husband overreacted to a harmless kiss. But the truth is more complicated and more damning than either version. I destroyed my marriage because I valued being liked more than being trustworthy. I let another man kiss me because it felt good to be chosen. I kept a door open with him because I liked the attention. And I only stopped because I got caught. Marcus didn't leave over a kiss. He left because the kiss revealed who I really am when given the choice between doing what's right and doing what feels good in the moment. And the worst part. The thing that keeps me up at night, even now knowing everything I've lost, there's a tiny part of me that remembers how it felt to be at that table, laughing, included, the center of attention. A tiny part that almost thinks it was worth it. That's the truth I can barely admit to myself. That for 3 weeks of social acceptance I would have traded my marriage. Not consciously, not explicitly. But in the moment when I checked my phone and confirmed Marcus was safely unaware, that's exactly what I did. So you tell me, am I the villain, the victim, or just another person who made catastrophically bad choices and has to live with the consequences? The divorce papers are on my kitchen counter. I have until Friday to sign them. Marcus's lawyer says he's willing to split everything fairly, no drama, just a clean break. Like our 6 years together can be neatly divided into his stuff and my stuff, and we both walk away. I keep picking up the pen, putting it back down, picking it up again. Because signing them means admitting it's really over. That I really destroyed the best thing in my life over a drinking game and a need to be liked. That I'm really going to be single at 31, starting over, carrying this shame into every future relationship. But not signing them means prolonging Marcus's pain. keeping him tied to someone who hurt him so deeply he had to remove his wedding ring in a coffee shop. So I'll probably sign them. Tomorrow or the next day or whenever I find the courage to take responsibility for the consequences of my actions. This is why I'm telling you this story. Not for sympathy, I don't deserve that. Not for absolution, I can't have that. But because I need someone to know the whole truth, including the parts that make me look irredeemable. I let my coworker kiss me as a joke. But the real joke is that I almost convinced myself it didn't matter, that it was harmless, that Marcus was overreacting. The truth is, it mattered more than anything, and I knew that the second I checked my phone to make sure he wouldn't find out.